Hey, AfterBuzzers, thanks for tuning in for episode 10 of Scorpion. It's been 2 weeks since we've been here. We can't wait to talk about it. We're going to talk about Paige and Walter and Tim and Paige's mom, Veronica. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah, stuck like glue, except they're stuck in tar. Get it? That's why we have this song. Welcome to AfterBuzz, everybody. We are so excited to be here. I am Monse Bolanos here to lead this discussion on episode 10 of Scorpion. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MonseBolanos. And across from me, obviously, Susannah Kim.
Hello, hi guys. You can find me at Susannah_Kim, SUSANNAH_KIM. And this song, Stuck Like Glue, was from at Damon Cochran on Twitter. Thank you. We actually had a couple, so we had to choose. So another thank you. The other one was Adele, Rolling in the Deep. I haven't tried to find who it was, but thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for the suggestions.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
This is Sugarland, Stuck Like Glue, if you feel like, downloading it or something. But thank you for the suggestions. It makes our life a little easier.
Yes.
Because we suck at it if we haven't talked about it. Can I mention how I love that you and I are wearing sparkly tops without even discussing it?
We're so cute.
We are so cute. We didn't even talk about it, and we are both wearing sparkly things. So you're welcome for that, everybody. How's it going? 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But it feels longer than 2 weeks, right?
I feel like we took our holiday break, because I think the holiday break that we're going to take is only going to be a week, because I think we're back in first thing of January. So that's going to be shorter.
Yeah, it's a weird break, because a lot of shows ended last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And then they took a little break. We even get a Christmas special, which is going to be fun. We'll talk about that at the end, But it feels like a long time.
Yep.
It feels like a really, really long time.
It was a really long time.
So I'm glad to be here to discuss an episode that I did not hate.
Yeah.
I did not hate it.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was cute. It wasn't like, oh, blow my mind, I'm Scorpion, But I enjoyed it. I laughed a couple times. I liked it. It was good.
I like the storyline overall. There are a couple things. I'm still not crazy about Paige's mom, but
yes,
yeah.
Let's get right into that. One of the first things I wanted to talk about was Paige's mom, Paige with Walter, Paige with Ralph, even Veronica, Paige's mom. I want to talk about Veronica and Walter, Veronica and Ralph, and a little bit of Veronica and Paige, but we don't get a lot of that. They have a tiny little moment at the very end, but it still is not genuine.
Yeah.
I feel like they completely, I don't know if their goal was for us to not like her from the beginning, but that hasn't changed. We still don't like her. I don't like the conning that she is doing with Ralph.
Yeah. They're making us not like her.
For sure. Till
she's
this,
corrupting him.
Corrupting him. And
good.
In this episode, they spend time together. It's revealed that they have communicated before. That was a little shocking.
Right.
I wish it would have been more.
I know.
I wish, I want to see a flashback of them, of him hiding that letter.
Right.
What? Paige doesn't, because this, I don't think this was done online. I don't think this was done through via computer.
Yeah, it would have been cute to see her having one of his letters or something like that.
Something.
Yeah,
it was
to connect them from a long time ago.
Yeah, I really liked that storyline. I really liked that it was real, but I wanted a little bit more. How long ago was this? When did Ralph find out about you? So many questions.
Yeah.
And then they didn't really give us much. But she's corrupting him. They're selling Peruvian ice cream sandwiches throughout the episode that are for his AKA, it's not that, but AKA Boy Scouts, essentially, that he's trying to get a business badge.
Forestry Rangers or something like that.
Braves,
yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
Brave.
Essentially a Boy Scout who's trying to get his badge, and she's like, oh, we can totally do it, and throughout the, we get little snippets of them while they're doing the mission, and it's revealed that they communicate all that they've communicated, and then it's towards the end of the episode, Ralph is asking real questions, no, why? What, do you and my mom have adventures? Did you and my mom have fun?
Right.
Why didn't you communicate? Starts asking questions that a normal, how old is he, 10? 11? Something like that. That probably a normal 10, 11-year-old wouldn't really ask in a situation where you're making so much money against these hipsters.
Right.
What does he say? It's a fish in a barrel.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So I liked that. I like that he's kind of like standing his ground a little bit. But
yeah. And it's funny because like most kids would just be easily influenced by you know, their grandma, and you know, she's teaching them how to con pretty much people out of their money. But him, he's pretty smart, you know, he sees straight through it. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna use this time to try to get to know her. And he still calls her out on it at the end too. He's like, you know, I really wanted to just get to know you today, and all I did was figure out why my mom couldn't have
communicate with you.
Why she couldn't, and it was really sad and sweet, and it makes a lot of sense that he's above that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they go back and they have all this surplus, and he tells them, he tells her, I don't even want my cut. Like, I don't want anything to do with this type of thing, you know? And the money goes towards a good cause, which is something that's been a storyline for several episodes now. Sylvester running for, I actually wrote it down because I was like, I need to get this. Alderman of West Altadena.
Yeah.
That is what he's running for. And so the money eventually does go to a good cause because it's revealed to us very early on that they suck at fundraising. Sylvester and Cabe made $42.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right, of the 2,000 goal. But they reached the goal thanks to Veronica's conning.
You would think with Sylvester being so good with numbers and whatever that he would be okay with making money, but no.
No, he's trying to sell ice cream.
He's not street smart at all.
And I agree with Kay, but it's like, ice cream is vanilla, strawberry, chocolate. Like, just keep it simple. Don't get these crazy-ass flavors.
To me, it's coffee. That's my go-to.
Ice cream coffee?
Coffee, ice cream, yeah. That's the only thing I can eat, like, a lot of.
I don't think I can eat of any ice cream too much, but I'm like, you know, I'm good with, you give me vanilla, I'm down with that. Cookies and cream, that's also a great one.
I don't know, I've seen you put down some Cold Stone.
Stone.
This girl over here, she's like, I don't need ice cream. Yeah,
that's
she does.
not normal.
Yes, she does.
That is not just normal ice cream. I'm gonna just defend myself. That is tossed with strawberries, pound cake, and it's absolutely amazing. And I could eat you're right. I could eat a pint of that in a sitting. That is my go-to, which I wish I could go right now. And I hate how Veronica's kind of also trying to con Walter.
I hate it.
You know?
I hate her. Yeah, I don't want to say I hate her, but I hate her. She's no good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Even though, like, she's trying to help Walter, I don't like it.
And I don't like that he's even not using her, but going to her for the help. You know, you already know that Paige doesn't like her mom. You really think you're going to get on her good side by, like, getting her mom's, like, manipulation tactics? No. Come on.
Right. And he's, at the end, he realizes that.
Right.
Toby, you know, makes comments about it at the very beginning because he offers Paige a sweet, salty snack while they're watching the movie. Then, you know, he puts on the flannel. He sprinkles himself with rosemary.
We have a couple people in the chat. Corby1, hello.
Hi.
And Ivan Soto said, Walter, Paige, and Ralph movie night was adorable. It's like family night.
It was adorable. I loved it. And obviously, they always like to tie in things together from the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
This time, the movie, The Swamp Lord.
Right.
Well, Walter was like the Swamp Lord.
Yeah.
I thought that was very adorable. But yeah, you know, I'm glad at the end he was kind of like, I'm not going to follow what you're telling me to do anymore. He should have never done it from the beginning. And then she's even when she says things that you want to hear, like, you're right. It makes me like you even more that you don't want to follow me. I still don't like her. Like, I don't. It's like not genuine to me.
I know, and I don't like that. I don't like that she's so like against Tim and for Walter. Obviously, we feel that way, and it's okay for us to feel that way because we've been watching them for 3 seasons. Girl, you just got here. We don't. What's your name again? It's nice to meet you. And she's already has this like really strong opinion on who her daughter should be with. You don't even know them. You know, maybe if we had seen an instance where Tim did something, or you know, like did something to show that he's not the right man for Paige, that would make sense.
Right.
But he hasn't given like a great reason. She hasn't seen anything. What has she even seen of Walter that makes him seem so great? It doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't.
We get it. It would make sense for us to say it. If I would, you know, they're like, oh, these are the girls from the after show. That makes sense. We don't know Paige's mom.
Right? You're right. She's making these like rash judgments, like if she's been in Paige's life the whole time. And it's like, girl, you literally just came out of nowhere and nobody likes you. Go home. And she's living with them. for a week in the garage
Apparently.
where Ray used to live. Can we just get Ray back?
Exactly.
Just put Ray back in the trailer.
I miss him.
I did.
Although he's doing a lot of stuff right now. Where did I see? I saw him walking on an AMC preview for something. It was so quick, and I was like, "Is that Kevin Wiseman?" And I got all excited, but I don't know where he's at right now. I gotta see where he's at.
Send him a little tweet. Be like, come talk to us, even though you're not in the show.
What you doing?
Come tell us what Ray thinks of Veronica.
Right?
Literally. How great would that be, that episode, if like Ray meets Veronica?
And just kicks him. Can you get out? This is my spot.
It's just like treats, like, who are you? Get out of here. Get out of here. Wait, even at the end when Veronica and Walter are talking and like, she's like, I like you, whatever, whatever. But I hated that she was like, he's planning roots.
I know.
Girl,
and then she makes his
shush.
face looking at Tim like all like Fuchi face. Girl, no. You know what I mean? Like obviously, I mean, in a way, Tim is making Paige happy, and you know, like he hasn't done anything wrong. So why do you? I don't like it.
I don't either.
I don't like her.
And what's up with Tim? I thought we were getting rid of Tim.
Okay, but what's great is that I don't know if the writers are doing this on purpose, but it seems like because they released publicly that he was going to be written off the show, you know? So I wonder if they're doing it on purpose, because there was that moment at the end of like the whole mission thing where Tim is like trying to drag Walter out of the tar.
Yeah.
For a second I was like, ooh, are they going to pull him in and Tim dies and they kill off Tim? Because that would have been epic. Because I was kind of like, what's a great like payoff, you know, for them to kill off Tim. We already know he's going. They could kill him.
Yeah.
He could die for him to get off the show. That's okay. And he does it heroically. He saved Walter. You know what I mean? That would have been. And so I wonder if they did that on purpose, released it for the fans, so the ones that know are kind of like, oh, is he going to die? Because that's totally what I thought. And then later too, when he's on the phone again, we're like, oh no, that's how he leaves. But then they take that away from us too. So
Seriously?
I think they're doing it on purpose, right?
So you think
they
he's
have
gonna
to
die?
be teasing us?
Because now
I don't know.
It's got to be
dying
epic.
or job or something. But yeah, I totally think they're doing these little things on purpose.
And in this episode, they gave us, like you said, a lot of little like hints of what could happen with him. And then they took him away. So it better be good. It can't just be like, I'm moving away to a job. You already said no to a job.
Right.
So like, it better be a good.
It's got to be next week, right? Because I think they said he was just around for a few more weeks. And then we're off for 1 week, and then we're back in January. And the show goes through, what, April after that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's next week, the way I will be so freaking upset because the way they previewed this next episode seems a lot of fun.
It looks hilarious.
It looks a lot of fun. So it's like, don't preview this episode to be like this jolly golly happy episode, and then that guy dies.
That could be great. It's all like, oh, we're so happy, it's the holidays. Oh, but then Tim died, so that's sad, you know?
But we're still happy.
Things can be sad for the holidays. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, that could be a great payoff. But yeah, I don't know. I would feel like, I don't know, maybe because I'm just expecting for them to do something huge before a break.
Yeah.
Although I feel like this 2-week break probably would have been a good time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just can't tell when like mid-season finale, if they even do that with Scorpion, you know, like a mid-season finale sort of thing.
Right. Like a winter finale. I
can't remember them doing that.
I don't remember. Maybe they have done it, but I don't remember. I was real confused this whole episode with the whole Tim and Paige, because Paige, throughout the episode, little things of like Walter, like, she touched him, and then she was like, hey, what's the movie night next week, sci-fi or horror? Like, so many things where it was like hinting that she was kind of like a little flirty with him and like into him. And then Tim comes around. I know. We find out that his back is hurt. He didn't pass his physical. He's not going anywhere.
Nobody
not taking a job.
Tim.
Wants to make his position permanent with Scorpion.
Yeah.
Even starts sounding like Scorpion.
Yeah.
Like, what are the writers doing? Are they trying to throw us off? Because it's working.
Ivan Soto on our chat right now is saying, yes, he leaves in episode 11.
So next episode.
Week, so
what? Listen, if it's... it better be good.
Yeah.
It better...
Just in time for the holidays.
But
that might be good though. That might make us really happy, because what if he leaves on like a good thing? You know, he doesn't die. Let's say he doesn't die. But that's like our Christmas gift for us, you know? Like, bye Tim, wrapped up in a bow. Bon voyage, you know? So that could be a nice thing, you know? It could still be, could go with the light happy thing if they don't kill him, I guess.
So he's getting the job.
Maybe.
He's going to pick the job. That's the only way to make this episode the way it was like portrayed. It was so happy, so jolly golly.
Right.
A positive, for him not to die and for him to say, I want this job and I need it. And then it's all, everybody lives happily ever after. I'm kind of over it.
I do kind of wish with the little like flirting thing you were talking about, how Walter was, at the end he put on like that little rosemary and stuff. I wish they would have brought that up.
Yeah.
I wish she would have been like, I just got reminded of whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and at the
Why
end,
didn't they reference that?
I don't know. There was a moment she like touches his flannel and she's like, "Have a good
that's
night."
when I thought maybe she would smell it off of him.
And she does a little smirk, like a smile, and
you think that's what it was then?
I thought so, but it wasn't clear.
It should have been clearer. Yeah, it should have been more obvious if that's what it was. Because I thought that too for a second. I was like, oh, she does kind of touch it, but no, she should have smelled it or something.
I agree.
I was missing that.
No me gusta.
That was sad.
No me gusta. Did we cover our relationships? Should we go into the mission itself? The mission itself. We have Beth. Beth, who crashes her car because a stupid bike rider gets in the way.
At the LA tar pit, or the La Brea tar pits, apparently. Is that something that happens? Are there no gates around that thing?
I don't know.
I haven't been to the La Brea. I really wanted to go. I want to go to the La Brea tar pit so bad. I always told my mom that I wanted to go because I'm like, Mom, dinosaurs. You really think Jesus is... like, no, Mom, dinosaurs are a real thing. She's like, no, God put them there to test, you know what Catholics like say. Anyways, if you're Catholic, I'm sorry, but the La Brea tar pits are so fascinating, and it's a real thing. They're right there in LA. You wouldn't expect them to be there in the middle of the freaking city, but they're right there. We could totally go see them. I want to go. And apparently it's not gated. How does a car just roll in there?
Right.
Was there construction, so it just happened to be open? Did the power go out, so maybe something wasn't working right?
Right.
I feel like that shouldn't be open to the public, right?
Yeah.
You haven't been over there?
No, I've never been. I found it weird that it was such a quick, like, she turns, crashes into this tar pit.
I know. But I did like that it was, like, so centrally located in LA. It was a very LA thing. So I like that. Yeah.
Beth, played by Nadine Nicole Hyman. I liked her.
She's pretty.
She's very pretty. I liked her. Her husband?
Michael,
played by Darnell Kirkwood. I liked them. Yeah. I thought they were good guest stars for, especially their relationship was very sweet.
Some of their interactions were a little frustrating, you know? Like, some of the things they did, like, when Walter first gets to her car and she's like, are you qualified for this? You know, she has that moment. I'm like, girl, no, that's not what we're doing right now. You're not about to check his resume before he saves you, right? Right. I feel like that was kind of weird. And then, like, a couple moments between them too, and Michael is like, I love you, or like professing his love. I'm like, do you really think that's time for this right now? You're saying like final goodbyes when she needs like something hopeful and stuff.
With that, something I didn't bring up that I wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna go back to the relationships before we continue on with this mission.
Yeah.
That whole thing of when Walter brings it up to Paige, and he's like, you know, Michael said these things to Beth, that whole speech. Right. But then instead of it, you were like waiting for it to be about he and Paige. Yeah. He turns it about her mom.
Yeah. I know.
I was like,
I totally thought that too.
But I literally was I think even Paige a little bit reacted like that. Like, her face was very like, what are you about to say?
Oh, it's not about us.
It's not, and it was like, exactly, like a almost like a disappointment, or like a oh, that's what you're talking about.
Oh,
like,
we're back to my mom again.
We're back.
Yeah,
yes.
Of course, because she don't like talking about her mom either. So
I was like, seriously, Walter? Like, how, and the way it was like, oh, you know, he's professing his love and blah, blah, blah. What are you saying? You're not professing your love. You're talking about how Paige might be
like giving her a chance.
Veronica,
maybe she could change. No, I thought you were talking about Paige giving you a chance because you've changed, because you used to be really like antisocial and not be able to express your feelings, but now you can't. No, that's not where we're going with that, because it should be.
Because it really should be. We should just write this episode. So annoying. Okay, back
and
to
Megan Records is now with us.
Thanks, everybody, for being in the live chat. We appreciate it. What did you guys think of the episode? Did we like it? Did we love it? Did we hate it? Were we indifferent?
Yes.
That's what I want to know.
Yes.
I was like, on a scale of 1 to 100, this was like a 70% show for me. Not, like a C. We'll give it a C plus, like a 75.
Yeah.
77%. Like a solid C plus, possibly B minus, maybe in some parts.
Yeah.
But
you know what's funny? And since we're comparing to other episodes, there's a moment in this episode where he's like, "No, we've literally gone to space and back with less preparation."
Yeah,
and I was thinking about it, and I was like, That's true. Like, really, the space thing was so much more far-fetched. But for me, that was, like, one of my favorite episodes. Which is weird because that's one of the things we complain about all the time is that, the show is, like, so, like, far-fetched and hard to believe. But that was, like, one of the most far-fetched things they've done, and we loved it. What is that? What's wrong with us?
Because they gave us other stuff we wanted.
It's the Walter Page stuff that we love. It's that relationship stuff that we love.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what. So we, like, let the craziness go because we were so excited about the other stuff. So Scorpion has to come rescue Beth because it seems like everybody else is busy. That's literally what it was. That they were on a homicide mission, the cops, and then like firefighters needed their help. Like they just didn't know what to do. Yeah. They get to the site and the car cannot be pulled out of the tar. It's like stuck. I found it quite interesting how the water didn't get into the car.
Is it water though? I wasn't sure what was happening. Was that tar mixed with water? Was it just tar?
So is it too thick? Is that what you're thinking?
It.
Yes, exactly.
So then it seems like, or did they just make it see through for the magic of television sort of thing? You know.
So you think it was like something thicker than water, which is why it didn't. That's how they got away with it not seeping through.
Well, yeah, it's thicker than water. But as far as, like, us being able to, like, see through it, like, camera-wise and lens-wise, all of that was, like, kind of, like, I don't know how much that made sense to me. You know what I mean? Because obviously they come out of it, and he's totally covered in black tar. And we know what tar is. So how would he be able to, like, see through that? And they're, like, having conversations, and he's talking through the window. You know? So a lot of that I didn't totally get.
And I think that's what it was with me, where it's like, so how's it not going through the car? Like, how's it not leaking already?
Right. And how are you able to see all this stuff if it's all black tar? Wouldn't you have to be able to, like, I can't speak right now, but wouldn't you have to feel around for all this stuff? I don't know. So that part didn't totally make sense to me, but suspension of disbelief, whatever.
I also found it interesting that, like, Beth had all these things that she needed. Like, who has a flare? Who has a flare and a flashlight?
Oh, some people have flares, I guess.
But you wouldn't have both.
Yeah,
I have a flashlight.
I was gonna say, I was like, you have a flashlight,
but I don't have a flare.
Do I have a flare? Maybe something stuck. I have some things going on, but yeah, I get what you mean.
I just felt like
and she had it very handy too. She was able to get it from her front seat,
right,
in her glove compartment.
And then she just, the sunblock, which I get it. Southern California, everybody has sunblock. I get it. Then the athletic tape,
the vet wrap. Yeah, I call it vet wrap.
The athletic tape. I was like, she's wrapping her face with athletic tape. Athletic tape is very like that. That hurts if you don't use a pre-wrap. Because usually you put the spongy stuff before, then you use the athletic tape over it. And then she just put it on her face. And I was like, the way she was wrapping it, that's not a tape. That was like a...
No, it was just like wrap. Like
pre-wrap then. But it was a pre-wrap. It wasn't the... But the athletic tape she puts on the window... Remember when they were like, cover the this is at the beginning. Toby's like talking her on the screen.
Oh, right.
And he's like, cover the windows and everything. And it was like a tape.
Huh.
But then she wrapped it around her face and I was like, that's like a pre-wrap.
I don't know. Well, no, that wrap stuff, I know this is like so specific, but yeah, that wrap stuff, it does kind of like hold a shape because we used to use it all the time in the hospital, at the animal hospital. And it does hold a shape, and it is kind of stretchy. It doesn't, like, stick. It's not, like, adhesive.
I'm thinking of a different athletic wrap.
But then they do stick. It does stick to itself, though. Like, if you were to wrap it. And then, you know what I'm talking about?
I know what wrap you're talking about. I'm talking about a different athletic tape. It's like, you know when dogs get, like... Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what I'm thinking it
was.
So
that's
like
what they had.
That's what it looked like to me.
That makes more sense, because I thought it was, like, the athletic tape I used to tape my ankle when I hurt.
Yeah, that's, like, tape.
That's
adhesive tape. No. Because then she, like, they unwrapped it. Yeah, no. It had to be the other tape. Yeah.
All right,
Cabe just pulled that right off.
Yeah, that's
no way.
All right, but you're right. That other one does hold shape, like if you press it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
I guess it does sort of mold, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's weird. Yeah.
It is weird. All right.
Yeah, we're letting a lot go.
We are. All right. So Beth, like, this whole episode, we keep getting like she has 30 minutes. She has this. 35 minutes left of oxygen, and nobody wants to dive because it's not something that's approved. Nobody's ever dove into tar, and Walter is the person to do it because it's always Walter.
Right.
And there's always X, Y, and Z reason.
Yeah.
Tim's back. He's 30 pounds lighter than Cabe, and they say he has a less than 0.1% chance of survival.
Perfect. He's still going to do it. I feel like for geniuses, they should, it's like, why even do the calculations for risk if you're just going to ignore them anyway?
Right.
What does it even matter?
that's why I was like, okay, this makes no sense to me, but fine. They make him a suit to make him look like the Swamp Lord, and they get all this stuff from a nearby diving place. And this is all when they've said she has 35 minutes left.
Right.
So it's like, you drove to the store. All right, whatever. You drove to the store, you used the firefighter truck, and you got all this stuff together.
And that was a pretty well-crafted suit that he had.
Right.
I was like, you made that when?
Yeah.
For Halloween 2 years ago? Or, and you just had it around,
100%.
There's no way you just put that together.
And what did they use for? I like the idea of what they used for a helmet, but again, it was like, how did this?
Where? Yeah.
Hold on. How did you? Hold on. Time out. You used the light fixture that Tim points out, like, oh, it's big enough for him to put his head in, and like, how did that stay up?
Yeah.
That looked heavy. I just was like, all right, so I'm supposed to believe this is working. Okay, all right, that's cool. And he jumps into the tar water.
Tar pit.
And he can't see, so the flashlight comes in handy. They see each other. That's when Susannah points out, like, are you qualified for this, girl? You just stop. Just let them save your life. Let them save your life. And, I really liked, this is kind of where Michael says kind of his goodbye to Beth. And I liked how Toby pulls him aside, and he's like, you don't get it. I was like a playboy. All she wanted was this. And then he's like, and then he's like, yeah. And Sylvester's like,
even Sylvester
totally
jumping on that. Oh, you guys.
That was funny.
And of course, Happy had to shut him down. No, he didn't.
No, they don't. I loved it. But
those little things are so funny.
Sylvester's smile was like, so totally.
Yeah,
like,
right?
I know what you mean about being a playboy. So good. So good. They start to save her. Walter wraps this cable around the car because that was like the plan.
Right.
Because they couldn't pull it out because it had already like sunk into the tar, and like the front of it was like pulled off or something before Scorpion tried to get there. So they're hoping to pull it out, and there's a tear in the metal.
Right.
And I at first I thought the tear came from underneath, but then he blocks it with his glove, and it looks like it's just on the side.
Yeah, and actually he says it comes from the fence, so I guess there was a fence.
Okay.
Right? Because I think they said it was like the fence pole. It kind of does look like a pole from a fence. So I guess there was some sort of fence that she crashed.
But I was real confused because
a bigger fence.
The water starts to come from her feet, like the shot. She's like looking at her feet, and she's like, "It's coming, it's a lot."
Right. So I'm guessing it's like leaking in.
But then he like stuffs the hole with the glove, and it looks like it's the side of the door.
Right. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's like leaking because it is really thick. So basically it's like leaking in and
the
like
sides
hugging the sides and filling up. I don't know.
All right. So car starts leaking, or the stuff starts going in the car because there's like a metal tear.
Yeah.
And Walter uses his glove to clog it, essentially.
Yeah, right.
And then he starts burning his hand.
Yeah, very brave of him.
Very brave.
Quick
I know.
thinking.
Walter is so brave in all these episodes, just like doing crazy things every time. And they tell him that he has like 20 seconds to get Beth to the surface.
Yes.
But then the car starts to fall as they're trying to figure all of this out. Walter, no glove, burning his hand.
Yeah.
The car starts to like fall. She gets knocked out by the airbag.
Of course.
Of course, because it's, Scorpion. There's still 20 minutes left.
Right.
So of course it's going to happen. And he comes out of the water one time without the glove, like the first time we see a swamp lord come out. And Toby describes the hand as a hand of caramel apple, but that nobody wants.
Right.
It looked gross.
Yeah.
And it was like, so is his hand burned?
My hand is messed up.
My hand is messed up. That is from Friends.
Of course.
Of course.
We had to get one
My
in there.
hand is messed up. But it's like, how much did you burn your hand? Because they kept saying 30 seconds or 20 seconds for Beth to get out.
Right.
He was exposed to it for more than 20 seconds.
His hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
100%.
I mean, he did have it wrapped up at the end of the episode, so I assume there was some sort of damage going on.
Okay, we probably won't see it anymore.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
Probably won't
Probably
see it.
fine next episode.
Right,
Next week.
exactly. So they have to wake up Beth. That is the next part of the mission.
Yes.
And they make this, peppery type mixture thing that they're gonna release into the hole, and she's gonna breathe it in and wake up.
Right. Sure.
Cabe takes all the spices from a food truck. I felt bad for the food truck guy.
Me too. I was like, that is a small business. I was like, what, the government can't cover that charge? Right? I was like,
Exactly.
are you going to send him a little
money.
Thank you. Yeah.
I wish she would have said, I don't have it for you, but you'll get it later.
Or get some credit, you know, like if it's on the news, free publicity. It was worth that, you know, for them to get, I don't know.
But I didn't like it. Let me tell you, I did not like how they did dirty to that food truck. I did not like it. So he takes all the spices from the food truck, and they get like a tube, and they're creating this thing for Walter to basically go back into the water or into the tar, whatever. And while they're making it, that's when Tim brings like the bucket of what they're gonna shoot to her, and he's like, "This is to blah blah blah, so that we can drench her in it when she gets out of the water." And then Cabe's like, "Oh, you're starting to sound like one of them." No, you're not.
No,
do you even know what you just said?
Pass.
Do you understand? Do you get, like, if somebody said, explain this to me, like I'm 7. That's what Michael Scott in The Office. He's asking about a surplus. Remember that episode? Explain this to me like I'm 5.
Yeah. It gets slower.
It gets slower and lower.
So
And then Oscar has to explain it to him.
Yeah.
Your mommy and daddy gave you an allowance to make a lemonade stand.
Sorry, we're funny.
Okay, no, we're not
So
talking about
funny.
The Office right now, but The Office is great.
Great.
Anyway, so Walter goes back in, and they're like, "Oh, she's 3 minutes left of oxygen."
Yeah.
This was longer than 3 minutes. You guys, like, longer than 3 minutes. Then they wake her up, and she's like, screaming. And it's like, I thought you didn't have oxygen, man. You're screaming. She's screaming, and then she, like, covers her body with the stuff, the sunblock, the tape, and all that.
As slow as she possibly can. You don't want to put a little pep in your step? A little rush? Got people's lives in hand here.
Yeah, a little bit. And he's like, it depends how long you can hold your breath.
Yeah.
Listen, I held my breath. Like, the minute she wraps her head, and then and I held it, and I was like, let's see how believable this is.
Right.
Because here's what I'm thinking. Even let's say Beth is a record-breaking breath holder.
Right.
In that situation, you probably wouldn't do what your best can do in a non-stressful situation.
Yep. And you're being pulled out of a car.
You're being pulled. Right.
And then you get paused, like you're stuck on a ride where you're like, wait, is this ride broken? Are you waiting for the maintenance people to come?
And then she starts screaming.
Yeah, she starts screaming.
Don't you release our
Absolutely.
air there?
I guess you could not release air and scream. Was that good?
Yeah.
That was really good.
I didn't release any air in
You're
that
welcome.
moment.
Yeah, so it's possible, I suppose.
I guess. Okay.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely in that situation, I feel like the wind would have been knocked out of you.
Yeah.
You know?
so many things, and they literally say that they have 20, I think max 30 seconds to get her out.
Right.
Man, she was holding her breath for a lot longer.
And she doesn't even take her breath until Cabe unwraps her either,
Yeah.
Finally, she gets unwrapped and she's like,
Could you breathe with that tape, though? There's probably no
Maybe it's a little porous, I'm sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're so stuck with this tape. We're like, hold on, let's talk about this tape.
Yeah.
Specifics?
What brand was it? Was it 3M?
What?
Was it like... What's happening?
But seriously. Yeah. And so they're trying to get out. Walter breaks the window. She gets out. She's been holding her breath for way too long now. And then Walter like yelps out of pain. And he says he feels like he's being torn apart because he's stuck in the tar.
Right.
And then Walter releases her, very heroic, and then he stays. So she gets out, they take her, they whatever, she's gonna be fine. And he's still down there. He loses the tank, and they say he has 2 minutes left of oxygen. And how did they get that camera, by the way? The camera that's watching him, did they put that, and I was like, where did this camera come from? Like, they're just watching him. Where did this camera come from? I'm so confused. Is this attached to his helmet? It just was a shot that I was like,
oh, that's so true.
Like, it was just like cut to, and then it's like a picture, like the camera's like right
in his face.
Yeah, it's like,
okay, did they see that though, or was that just for us?
I thought they were watching him.
Yeah, it seemed like they saw him.
Paige was like, I know you can't talk because you're holding oxygen. But
that's true. They were watching him.
I thought that was weird.
So I guess when they I thought that was really weird.
That was really weird.
Yeah, I guess when they fashioned that helmet, they stuck a little camera in there too.
Little GoPro. All right.
Goes with the comm.
And so he like looks at the camera. He's like dead on. Like it's like a clear shot of how bright.
He's like
it's so
whispering
bright.
his words too.
Because he's holding his breath because he has no oxygen.
And he starts with "I'm here." Well, we know you're here.
We're watching
We
you.
saw you here.
We're talking about
We know you're there. Those are the words you're going to pick? Okay.
I'm here.
I'm here. Really? Cool. You're saving words. I'm here. Okay.
I'm here. And so
Genius.
they, at this point, you know, just like they do in several episodes of Scorpion, where it seems like they're running out of ideas.
Oh, okay. Sorry, real quick. Ivan Soto, Toby gave him the camera. In the beginning, Toby gave him the camera to avoid claustrophobia. I think I do remember that.
Okay.
Yeah. He
Okay.
does say something like, this is for claustrophobia, so you don't... Oh, yeah, because he's like, you can see me giving the kissy... Remember when he did that? He was like, Toby's like testing the camera. He's like, can you see me giving kissy faces? Okay, thank you, Ivan.
Thank you.
Yes, good.
Okay, thank you.
So the camera was there at the beginning.
From the beginning, so it's good. Okay. But, you know, Walter's about to die, like he is almost every other episode. And they're running out of ideas. Like, panic is in their voices.
Right.
And who comes to the rescue from the other side of town? Ralph.
Of course.
Because of Instagram.
Yeah.
Because of social media.
Yeah,
Because
good old Soch.
good old social media reveals that they're making more money than the food truck. That the food truck, you know, that Cabe took all. I assume it's the same food truck
Right,
that he
yeah.
took all the spices, right? And it's like he gets to read this thing on social media why the food truck is not selling anything.
Right, that it
It's
was commandeered
by the
someone
FBI.
Stuck.
All that good stuff.
I love how he immediately thinks, was it Walter?
Yeah. He calls
Yeah.
Paige, right? He calls Paige, and then she's like, oh, it's not a good time. Is Walter stuck? Just tell him to melt the tar. Melt the tar, what? And then it's like, oh, light bulb. Seriously, geniuses? Y'all couldn't think of melting the tar?
Right.
Doesn't even seem difficult. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, you're here calculating a suit that
Right.
a person could sustain in tar for X amount of time, and you didn't think of just melting the tar?
And also then, okay, yeah. No, keep going.
But Walter is able to melt the tar with a flare that comes in handy, that is placed right there at the dashboard, close enough for him to reach. And he uses the tire to create a fire.
Right. Oxygen from the tire. They needed fuel, which was the methane.
Yeah.
Or something. And then, you know, the spark or whatever.
Right. To create a fire.
Which you got from the flare.
Yeah.
So then that huge explosion happened. What happened to that car? Did the car not, like,
explode with it.
you know? What happened to the car?
Yeah, that's true.
Where did it go?
It was just
Did
an
it not hit
explosion of
Walter?
water.
Where was it? Yeah. Was
Yeah.
it water? Was it tar?
Both.
We don't know. All of that was weird. It seemed
What
like
tar?
a really big explosion.
tar?
Though I liked the shot or the visual of all like the fire hanging out
Yeah.
over the tar pit. That was
Yeah.
cool. The explosion itself was kind of like, whoa, that was huge. And like their reactions, I felt like didn't match.
Right.
Toby sort of like went like this, but the rest of them were sort of just like standing there. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like
It's like all you extras, you lost your job
uneven. Yeah.
because it didn't look real.
But otherwise, yeah, it was an interesting concept.
Yeah, I agree. It's like what happened to the car?
Right. But we've done that before. We haven't like a huge explosion underwater we've done
Yeah.
in an episode. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I remember
But
a
we
huge
have.
explosion underwater.
Yeah, it
So
was
it's like
to
a similar
save
idea.
Walter from falling from the plane. Remember, like,
That's
because
what
he
it
was
was.
going into
Yeah,
water
yeah,
and they
yeah.
needed to
From the air,
break
the
his
space
fall,
shuttle.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys remember stuff.
Ah.
So I agree. I like the way that the fire looked on the tar, whatever, the swamp, whatever we're calling this thing. But yeah, there were some holes in the explosion that it didn't make sense to me. But he gets out, and Tim and Cabe are the ones saving him. When you're right, it would have been crazy if Tim would have fallen in.
Right?
at
Did
that
anyone else think that? Did anyone else think that maybe he was gonna get pulled in and die? 'Cause I was totally thinking that.
didn't.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it would have been awesome.
moment. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I liked in this scene where Toby says, "So tar, so good."
So tar, so good.
That
yeah.
was really
I'm
funny.
sorry when I get nervous, I pun.
It was really,
funny.
really, really funny. And Walter is saved. Yay. So great, as he is every episode.
Yay.
And he listens as he's like being watched to the side, like, you know, he's all wrapped up in his blanket and his hand is wrapped up. He listens or overhears Tim telling Paige about the job offer, or at
Right.
least that's what they make it out to be, that he's close
Right.
enough to listen. And he says, you know, that he has a job offer in Jordan, Middle East, to be the head of security. And he's like, it's intriguing. I didn't think I could get this after I just got, you know, honorable discharge.
Yeah, he didn't even pass his physical test.
Didn't even
or
pass
whatever,
his
so.
physical. And then he says, we saved her. I want to keep saving people. I want to make my position
Want to be
permanent.
part of this team. Wait, did anyone offer you a
Nobody
position?
offered you anything. not at all.
You mean you want to apply, right?
Right? It was like, instead of saying, I'm going to talk to Cabe about making it permanent, I'm going to talk to the team.
Yeah, right.
To see if they'll take me.
Right.
You think Cabe's decision?
Yeah, you think Cabe's the boss here? You know Walter's the boss,
Walter
right?
is the boss.
Yeah, Walter's cutting checks.
Ugh.
Oh.
Ugh.
But yeah.
And
And
then
he's out soon.
He's out.
Maybe he applies and Walter's like, nah. You should go take your other job.
You should go to Jordan. You should go all the way to Jordan.
Right.
And then we head back to the, garage like every episode ends. I did find it interesting. I don't know if many episodes have ended with not the entire cast together. But we go back to the garage and Toby and Happy are not there. They're technically at the hospital with Beth.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's a little weird, right? We don't get that a lot.
I didn't think of that. That's true. Real quick, we do have a couple people agreeing. Megan Rickards says, yeah, I thought that for a second about Tim falling in.
Okay.
And then Floral Capacity, yes, I thought Tim was going to fall in and die. I would have been so happy too. Ivan Soda said I wanted him to fall in. So that thought did cross some people's minds. It's and I wonder if that's on purpose because we already know he's leaving.
Right.
I don't know if I would have thought that had I not known.
Yeah.
I probably would have just hoped for it.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, anyways.
No.
But yeah, that is interesting that Happy and
Toby weren't there.
Toby weren't there. We didn't get anything from them this episode.
No, not a lot of
relationship-wise or cutesy-wise.
Nothing, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they weren't there. I just found it interesting because I was like, has there ever been an episode where they aren't all together at the end of it?
They're still getting married, right?
Yeah, I think that's...
so they're just engaged.
They're engaged, yeah.
Ah, I can't wait for a wedding episode.
Yeah. I hope that
what kind of craziness ensues during the wedding.
Of course they have to figure something out.
I'm sure someone's dying.
Someone's dying, yeah. Somebody's going to choke, have a heart attack in the middle of the wedding, something, and they have to figure it out. Totally. But I think we covered the episode.
Yeah.
Yes. We could do like a... What is that?
Prediction.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
But there's not much. I mean, Tim's gonna be gone.
Yay. Apparently.
Yeah, seriously.
So how is he gonna leave? That's a good prediction. Next week is a Home Alone. People were saying like it seems like Home Alone for Scorpion.
And I don't like that. I
Why?
didn't like any of that.
Why?
I don't like.
I'm so excited.
Don't be Home Alone. There was literally like the whole preview was like Home Alone.
Yeah.
I got nothing else besides I want to watch Home Alone. I don't even want to watch
They're
Scorpion.
in a cabin. Yeah.
But like all of the preview, I wish they wouldn't have shown that the preview of it being so much like Home Alone.
Yeah, maybe.
That's it. Do it in the episode, and then we would have been like, oh, how fun. But it was literally like, hey, you should watch this because it's Home Alone.
I don't know. I liked it. I'm so excited.
No,
maybe because I've been like, just like about these episodes. I just want something like fun and. Also, I'm excited that it's just gonna be just the core group too, pretty much. In one place,
right.
Sort of like Thanksgiving episodes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just gonna be them. They're not gonna be like going off somewhere or like separated off into like different things. Hopefully, it seems like they're all in the house,
in the cabin,
or whatever. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see why Happy and Toby are dressed up.
Yeah.
As like elves and stuff.
Yeah.
I just really didn't like the way that they set up the preview because it was literally like almost shot of what happens in Home Alone of like taking these bad guys down. Like I just wish it wouldn't have been so Home Alone-y for the preview.
Yeah,
that's all.
Not so on the nose.
Not so on the nose about it.
Totally.
That was my thing. I'm excited to see why they're dressed the way they are. It was funny because those are really the only people we got in the preview. Like we didn't see anyone else.
Yeah. So Cabe for a second.
So do you think Tim is he's not gonna die. I feel like if you kill him in this episode, that's just really weird.
Yeah, he won't die in this episode. I mean, maybe. I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it either, but he's gonna go peacefully. That's what I predict.
Yeah.
He's gonna go peacefully. It's gonna be a job.
His own decision.
It's gonna be a job.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like, I don't know. Maybe they tell him that they made a mistake with the physical, and then he does pass it, and then he's still a Navy. He's back. And then they offer him a position, not in Jordan. Maybe he doesn't want to go to the Middle East. Offer him a position maybe like in Florida. And he like can't not take it.
And maybe he tries to take Paige, and Paige is like, I gotta stay with Scorpion.
Says no because I'm in love with Walter.
Yeah.
Boom! We just did it.
Because baby daddy tried that with her. He's like, hey, let's move up to Seattle or wherever he was trying to go. And she's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here.
And what if? So
baby daddy
Tim,
comes back?
No, we're never seeing Drew again. Drew's gone. But what if Tim like does offer Paige to come with him, and then Paige brings it up to Ralph, and we finally get a talk between Ralph and Paige about Walter, which we never have gotten ever, not once.
And we've been wanting it. We finally got Ralph talking to Walter about it. His little like we could have been sidekicks or whatever, But yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
I would love to see that.
Yes.
Like where she does take it
Hopefully
to
we
Ralph
get it.
to talk, and then Ralph, it's revealed like, no, you should be together. You know.
And I want her to take his opinion into consideration. Really.
Last thing, how many more episodes of, or how will Paige's mom leave? Because she's obviously gonna leave.
I don't know.
She goes to jail. Boom, roasted.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm good with that.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's all.
Yep.
After 2 weeks off, there was so much to talk about, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but I have high hopes for the winter mid-season finale.
Yeah,
let's
seems
say.
like that's what it is.
Yes. Susannah, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Susannah_Kim. It's SUSANNAH_KIM.
Yeah, and we will be here next week, same time, covering Monday's episode on Wednesday. I am Monse Bolanos. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Monse Bolanos, MONSEBOLANOS. Again, give us your music or your song ideas for the episode. Give us questions, everything. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Let us know what you think is going to happen next week. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.